Welcome back, everybody. We're all about helping you boost your English fluency, and
Yeah.
today we're going to be taking a deep dive into some really colorful expressions, idioms. We've got 10 of them, uh,
Mhm.
advanced English phrases,
Yeah.
and really kind of want to see how these can take your speaking to
Right.
the next level. So,
Absolutely.
without further ado, let's jump into number 1.
Okay.
Burn the midnight oil.
Yeah.
This is one that I have definitely overused, I think, especially back in my college days.
Oh, yeah.
It's always like, oh, I'm burning the midnight oil.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, though,
Yeah.
that there's more to it than just kind of pulling an all-nighter.
You're right. There is. It's about dedication. It's about going that extra mile. So think of that entrepreneur that's like working super late to get their business launched,
Oh, yeah.
or an artist that's like completely absorbed in their latest project. It's that deep focus and commitment.
Nice.
The kind that you're probably putting in right now to improve your English, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it. So it's not just about time spent, but it's about effort invested.
Yeah.
Okay. How about hit the nail on the head?
Yeah.
So this one always makes me think of like some kind of like game show.
Right.
You have to get the answer exactly right.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. It's all about accuracy. It's like you're finding the perfect solution or expressing something precisely. The source even mentions it being used to praise someone's spot-on conclusion or observation.
So like if you're having a debate
Yeah.
and the person finally makes the argument that like wins it all.
Exactly. Or if you're like troubleshooting a problem and someone identifies like the root cause perfectly. It's about that aha moment of perfect understanding.
I see. Perfect clarity. Okay. This next one sounds a little intimidating. Bite the bullet.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one. It's really about facing a challenge head on, like even if it's unpleasant. So imagine yourself biting the bullet and finally having that conversation with a native speaker.
Right.
It might be a little scary.
Oh, yeah.
But that's how you break through to fluency.
It's how you make progress for sure. Okay, so we're talking about unpleasant things here. Let the cat out of the bag. Does this have anything to do with like actual cats?
Not literally, but I love that visual. It basically means to reveal a secret accidentally.
Okay.
And usually it's like those oops moments, like when you accidentally reveal a surprise party.
Oh, yeah.
Not like serious confidential information or anything.
I've definitely been there. I can picture the look on somebody's face when the cat's out of the bag. Total surprise.
Yeah.
So moving on, the ball is in your court. This one makes me think of sports.
It does come from sports, but it's also often used in conversations to indicate that it's somebody's turn to take action or make a decision.
The ball is in your court. Okay, I love the imagery of this, but, is it too casual for, say, like a formal business negotiation? Could it come across a little passive-aggressive?
That's a really good question. While it's common in negotiations, you're right. It might be a little too informal for some situations. It's important to be mindful of the context in your audience.
Right. It's all about choosing the right tool for the job.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about cut corners. This one almost sounds a little sneaky.
It can be, depending on the context. It basically means doing something the easiest or cheapest way, often sacrificing quality.
Okay.
So imagine someone learning a language, but they skip all the grammar exercises.
Oh, yeah.
They might be cutting corners, and it'll show in the long run.
Makes sense. They might save time initially, but the end result won't be as strong.
Yeah.
Okay. On the same page, this one seems pretty essential for, like, clear communication.
Absolutely. It means agreeing or sharing the same understanding, which is crucial for any kind of collaboration.
Right.
So think about starting a new project with a team. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
About deadlines and objectives in order to succeed.
Right. If you're not on the same page, things can get messy quickly.
Exactly. And clear communication is essential in any language, especially when you're learning a new one.
So throw in the towel. This one sounds a bit like giving up.
It does. But sometimes knowing when to throw in the towel is a sign of wisdom. Like when you're practicing English pronunciation and you just hit a wall,
Oh, yeah.
it might be time to just throw in the towel for the day and come back with fresh ears tomorrow.
That's a great way to think about it. It's not about quitting altogether,
Right.
but it's just about being strategic with your energy.
Precisely. Sometimes stepping back allows you to see things from a new perspective. Which kind of brings us back to square one.
Oh, right back to square one.
Yeah.
I have to admit, that always feels a little discouraging. Like all that effort was wasted. But you're saying it can actually be a positive thing.
Think of it as a chance to reassess, to find a better path forward. Remember, even in language learning, there are no true failures, just opportunities to adjust and improve.
So if I'm struggling with a particular grammar concept, it might be time to just go back to square one and revisit the basics.
Exactly. It's about being willing to reassess and adjust your approach. Remember, even native English speakers have moments where they feel like they're back to square one.
Yeah.
It's all part of the learning process.
I like that perspective.
Okay.
Our final phrase for this round is a blessing in disguise. This one sounds pretty optimistic.
It is. It's about finding that silver lining in situations that might initially seem negative. Like, imagine you make a mistake while speaking English. That mistake could be a blessing in disguise because it helps you learn and improve.
That's a great way to reframe those moments that might otherwise feel discouraging.
Exactly. It's about having that optimistic outlook and trusting that even setbacks can lead to something positive.
I love that. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Yeah. And I'm already feeling more confident about using these phrases in my own conversations.
Remember, the key is to just practice and have fun with it.
Yeah.
The more you use these phrases, the more natural they'll become.
Great advice. Okay, so we're back and ready to dig even deeper into these advanced English phrases.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling a lot more confident about using these in conversations.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Confidence is key when you're learning a new language.
Absolutely.
But remember, it's not just about sounding impressive. It's about understanding the nuance of these phrases.
Right. Like we were saying before with let the cat out of the bag. It's not just for any old secret.
Yeah.
It's about
those accidental slip-ups. Those surprise spoilers, those kinds of things.
Right, and even a phrase like throw in the towel, like you were saying, can actually be a positive thing.
It can be.
Not always admitting defeat, but just recognizing when a different strategy is needed.
Exactly. Sometimes persistence might actually be holding you back.
I'm thinking about how that applies to language learning. Sometimes you get stuck on a grammar point or pronunciation and you feel like you're just kind of banging your head against the wall.
Right.
Maybe throwing in the towel for a bit and coming back later with fresh eyes is actually the smarter move.
Absolutely. Sometimes stepping back allows you to see things from a new perspective.
Right.
That's where back to square one comes in.
Okay, back to square one.
Right.
I have to admit that always feels a little discouraging, like all that effort was wasted.
Yeah.
But you're saying it can actually be a positive step.
Think of it as a chance to reassess, to find a better path forward.
Okay.
Remember, even in language learning, there are no true failures.
Okay.
Only opportunities to adjust and improve.
So instead of getting down on myself when I have to go back to square one, I can see it as a chance to try a new approach.
Exactly.
Maybe a different textbook or a different language partner.
Exactly. And who knows, that setback might lead to a blessing in disguise.
Ooh, blessing in disguise. This whole idea of a blessing in disguise really resonates with me. It's a reminder that even mistakes can be valuable learning experiences. I'm curious, though. Is there a difference between a blessing in disguise and just something positive happening?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a little subtle.
Yeah.
But a blessing in disguise usually starts with something that seems negative or unfortunate at first. It's that unexpected positive outcome.
That comes from a challenging situation.
So it's like tripping over a word while speaking English.
Yeah.
But then having a native speaker gently correct you, and then you learn the pronunciation perfectly.
Exactly. That awkward moment. Could actually be the key to mastering that pronunciation.
I love these little aha moments. Now, beyond just understanding the meanings, how can our listeners actually start incorporating these phrases into their everyday English?
That's where the practice comes in. Don't be afraid to use them.
Okay.
Even if you're not 100% sure at first, start by listening for them. In movies or podcasts or even in conversations with native speakers.
Oh, that's a great tip. I'm picturing myself like watching my favorite English show with a notebook, just jotting down every idiom.
Exactly. And the more you hear them used correctly, the more natural they'll sound when you use them yourself.
Okay, so listening is
key. But what about actually speaking them?
Yeah.
Any advice for getting over that initial hesitation?
Think of it like learning a new dance move.
Okay.
At first, it might feel a little awkward and you might stumble a bit.
Right.
But the more you practice,
yeah,
the smoother and more natural it becomes.
I like that analogy.
Right.
So just like we practice our dance moves, we can practice these phrases in a low-pressure environment.
Yeah.
Maybe with a language partner or even just talking to ourselves in the mirror.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with it. The more you play with the language, the more comfortable you'll become using it.
So we've talked about listening and speaking.
Yeah.
But what about reading and writing?
Oh, yeah.
Can these idioms help with those skills too?
The source that we're using actually mentions that learning idioms can improve all of your language skills.
That's fascinating. I hadn't thought about it that way before.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. If you understand these expressions, you're going to be able to pick up on more nuance in writing and maybe even start using them in your own writing as well.
Exactly. And using them correctly in your writing can add that touch of fluency and sophistication that really elevates your communication.
So it's like a ripple effect. Understanding idioms can improve your comprehension, your speaking, and even your writing.
Exactly. It's all connected. And the beauty of it is the more you learn, the more you realize how much more there is to discover.
Right.
The English language is full of fascinating idioms, each with its own unique history and meaning.
It's like a never-ending treasure hunt.
It is.
For language lovers. So to wrap things up, what's one key takeaway our listeners should keep in mind as they continue on their English learning journey?
I would say the most important thing is to just stay curious. And embrace the challenge. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, to experiment, and to have fun with it.
Yeah, that's such great advice. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in that fear of making mistakes. But really, those mistakes are just stepping stones to fluency.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes language learning so rewarding. It's a continuous journey of discovery.
Oh, I totally agree. It's like
it's like opening up a whole new world of communication and expression.
Exactly. And with each new idiom you master, you're adding another brushstroke to that linguistic canvas.
Yeah.
You know, creating a richer, more vibrant picture of your understanding.
That's beautifully said.
So to all our listeners out there who are on this journey with us, I just want to say, keep exploring, keep practicing, and keep pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone.
And remember, every time you stumble, every time you have to go back to square one, it's just another opportunity to learn and grow. Embrace those moments.
Yes, and don't forget to celebrate those successes along the way.
Absolutely.
You know, each new phrase you master, each time you confidently use an idiom in conversation, that's a victory worth acknowledging.
Those little victories add up and fuel your motivation to keep going.
Well, I think we hit the nail on the head with this deep dive into advanced English phrases.
I think so.
You know, we've unpacked their meanings, explored their origins, and hopefully inspired you to start using these in your own conversations.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure diving into these linguistic gems with you.
And a huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on this adventure.
Thank you.
Remember, the world of language is vast and full of wonder.
It is.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those conversations flowing.
Until next time.